maybe just dive right in.
Yes. Okay.
Tom, are you recording?
Audio, yes, I'm recording.
Do the clap.
We all have to clap at the same time.
No,
we don't. That's exactly the thing. Why would we? Because it's 3 separate tracks. Oh,
exactly.
Okay, whatever.
It's because I have 3 audio files and 3 tracks, so I have to synchronize it with the audio from the Skype file and surge the peak and then align the peaks. If I have 3 different claps, it's impossible. Will all 3 clap at the same time because of delay alone? So
we have a very special guest today.
that's true. Rightio. I proposed the idea last time that we would talk about live shows that were either some of the best shows we've ever seen, that were impressive, whether good or bad. Anything goes, pretty much. Whatever was memorable is fair game. And I made quite an extensive list. I sent it to you guys in the WhatsApp group a couple of days ago.
I love you keep the flyers.
And about, I think 70% of my shows happened at Roadburn. So this might be a Roadburn heavy thing from my end.
Okay.
I tried to steer away from shows that I worked because I've had a few really good ones. I left one in there one show that I worked, I left in there.
And that's why we're recording audio separately, because you glitched out.
There we go. But yeah, that's what was been going on for me. And Rubben, you made a really good preparation list as well, right?
Yeah, I did. I wrote it all down right here. No, but I told you guys 5 minutes before, if you start making a list, why am I saving myself? If I start making a list, it'll be here till tomorrow. So
okay.
But I prepared while I was driving for the last 2 days. I thought about it, and when I was hurling things upstairs, I was also thinking about it.
For everyone listening, Rubben is in the middle of a move. That's why he's hauling stuff.
And I thought about a specific show, but I'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
While I was shopping for bottled water, because apparently coffee made with bottled, expensive water is better than tap water. That was my first fight with my girlfriend.
Coffee sucks anyway. So.
What side are you? Doric, do you believe you taste the difference between bottled water coffee or tap water coffee?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't drink coffee.
Weird, but Tom?
I don't know. If it was made with Farang, I wouldn't drink it because I hate Farang.
Aha! Like so
garbage.
You can't drink coffee at our place now.
Because it's made with Farang?
Yeah.
You can also just put water in there and not tell your girlfriend it's bottled water.
That's the plan. And we'll find out if she listens to this.
It's a pandemic, and he's making coffee with
don't tell her. Let's see if she's a really good girlfriend. Let's see if she can. A little test.
I wouldn't know.
Talking about going off track, before we dive into each other's list, I just thought up a question I prepared yesterday. It isn't just a random thought. What makes a show memorable, either good or bad?
I didn't think of it. I didn't. It's an interesting question. I guess if you can easily remember it years down the line, for whatever reason that might be, it might be
probably
the singer's antics. It might be the guitar player fucking up or being super tight. The sound was perfect, or the sound was memorably bad.
But whilst I was thinking of those specific specifics. What word am I looking for? Specific things.
Okay.
I also have a few shows I'll never forget, but I can't even tell what bands were playing. Some of them are festivals, some of them are just large bill shows. Just because of what happened. A fight broke out, someone did something really stupid, I broke something.
Fair game.
Does that count as well?
Yeah.
Fair game. I believe
That's what
so.
I mean with overall atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a really good venue, for me, if you have a really good show, I remember everything, like how the crowd was, if they were not shitty, how the venue was and stuff like that. So yeah, that also plays a role in everything on my part, partly.
Yeah.
Before we dive in, I looked up Shell Vanin. I don't know if you remember from last time. He was the Hydra head fat guy.
Oh yeah.
So he's not really active on social media or anything. He was named the mascot for Hydra Head in 2009. That was his peak, I think. There are some videos of him talking about records online, but that seems from 2009, stuff like that. Nothing on the weight loss. I'm sorry.
Remind me. I'm sorry.
After my expose.
No,
he was a guy in the Hydra Head.
Sorry. This might be what I'm smoking. I haven't smoked for a week, so this might be why I'm forgetful. So this will be the last one. I'll have to fix. Yeah, the awkward silence. I was thinking about editing this out, but I'll just leave it in.
Probably.
I do it on purpose. I do it on purpose now.
Yeah, I know. I do. I know.
Is he frozen? Okay, let's dive in. How are we going to do this? Because what we say top 3. Let's just start talking.
Let's just start. Let's just pull one out, and we usually end up talking shit about something anyway, and then we'll have to get back, and then we'll probably end up talking about 2 shows each, and we'll be 2 hours down the line. And
we'll do laat zien schaar for who goes first.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Sequence.
Okay, I'm just gonna. I have a long list here. I'm looking at it. Let me start by Sleep at Roadburn. Roadburn 2012. Tom was there. It's one of my. What?
Now I can scratch one off. Are you frozen?
He's doing it on purpose. Oh no, he's not.
No, he's not. He's on the bad way.
And you're frozen again. Okay. Shut up for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's working. You guys froze twice, but it's probably my Wi-Fi.
On point, because even my laptop has Wi-Fi now in the basement.
I turned off all devices that catch Wi-Fi except my laptop in the hopes that I'd have a better connection.
So you have a very angry neighbor.
Yeah. So yeah, Sleep at Roadburn 2012.
Yeah.
Tom was there with me. I'll prefix. I don't know if that's the way to say it, but I'll go ahead and say that I haven't really done any drugs for a very, very long time, since I was a teenager. Every now and again, I might have done a little something, but watching Sleep at Roadburn, which was the first time they came over after being inactive for, how long were they inactive for? 15 years?
Something like that, yeah. I think 70 years, but don't Google it.
Yeah.
Nah. Hard Google, man.
And everyone who knows me a little bit knows I'm a bit of a Sleep fanboy. And I was looking forward to it so bad that I was afraid it was gonna suck. Though I wouldn't admit it to myself or anyone around me because everybody was hyped hyped to see them. You could actually, the whole atmosphere at the whole festival was about 2 hours before Sleep played. It was very noticeable that everyone there, or at least 60% of the people on the entire festival, were kind of getting jittery and looking forward to seeing Sleep and all of that.
There was almost a tactile energy going through that venue.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It was crazy. I even had goosebumps watching their gear getting set up, because we went there early, so we have like our spot, but we knew the place was going to be rammed. And Thomas, no. We were upstairs. I was for sure.
Yeah.
And I believe you were there, and Thomas was there.
Yeah.
So we were.
I'm sorry. Just 2 seconds. I'm not gone. I'm going to fix the lamp. My cat just threw over. So continue. I can still hear you.
Thomas was also there.
I don't remember Bronca being there for some reason. But yeah, once they started playing, I wasn't even drunk. I was drinking beers, but I wasn't drunk. And while they were playing, at one moment, I got into this very weird trance-like state that I was just enjoying the show with my eyes closed. I took out my earplugs, which I never do. Because I work in music, I have these custom earplugs that I always wear because I'm scared about losing some of my hearing. It's already pretty bad, but I took them out and it was so loud, and everybody was kind of slowly headbanging in unison, and it almost felt like I transcended myself and looked down upon myself. That might be exaggerated a little bit, but I distinctly remember feeling those feelings and telling you, I believe, like, I don't know what it is, but it feels like I smoked so much weed, even though I'm like stone cold sober, and that show was just perfection to me.
There was a tactile energy, but there was also a palpable weed.
Oh yeah, everybody was smoking weed. Yeah, that's true.
If you got a contact high light, maybe, but it was there.
I don't know. I'm pretty used to that.
Fuck, I do want to interrupt, but I'm not in the image, and I've.
Stay quiet.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're having a moment here.
Sorry, I just wanted you to
probably have to edit it. I need to grab something sleep related. Wait.
Ah, fucking great! I'll be alone here. I know what he's getting. That's a good one. Time code, timestamp, screenshot for the Instagram.
Especially because you didn't see me right away.
I know what he's getting. He's getting the shiny poster he bought from me.
I bought a shiny poster from Tom as well, and I think he sold his shiny.
Yeah, you know what? He got both of them from me, the dickhead, and he got it for free. And then he still tried to sell them.
You want mine?
Before.
I bought mine. I think I bought a double of you, Tom.
Oh, you spoiled it. You're talking about the print, right?
Oh, you spoiled it.
He knows.
I just framed it yesterday.
So you can give it back to me now?
You have it.
Tom.
No, I gave mine to you.
Riek, something good might happen. Tom.
Yes.
Say yes.
I say yes.
You know I bought that double you had of you.
That was my setup. I was going.
Yeah, but
deliver the version.
You know the size for the frame, because it's still at my parents' home, nicely packed. You know the size.
Big. It's too big for the regular IKEA frames.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, I gave mine to you.
But I'll come bring the first time. For fuck's sake, I'm trying to do something nice. Fuck.
You're going to give him yours, I know, but he has them.
I do not. Dude, if I had here's the frames in my room. Yeah. And I got a bunch in the corner over there, but that one is not in there because I don't have it, because I gave it to one of my best friends who then tried to sell it online for money.
Yeah, I got that rap from someone else too, but it's not true. We actually bought them at the same time. You bought two.
I had two, and I gave one to you.
Okay, let's cut this. This is not a good joke. I was trying to frame Rubben, not the other way around.
You were framing
first fight with my boyfriend.
You tried framing me into giving it to him?
No, never mind. It's not a good. It's really not a joke.
I have a plan. I'll give it to Tom, and Tom can sell it to Rienk.
I was under the never. I was under the impression that he had the print, that I had the print, but that I cut it in half, sold you one, so we all had the print. That was but it looks like he doesn't have the print. Well, Rubben has your print. Now it's even a better joke.
Who's got another show to talk about? Because this is depressing me now. Because I want to really.
You can have this one next time you're here.
Framed?
Yeah, framed. Just take it.
Wow, I love you.
Now it can go in the podcast.
Yeah, okay. I forgive everything. Tom,
now you win
on today.
I didn't even know there was something to forgive. So.
But now he wins.
It's already framed.
I said straight away I was going to give you mine, but whatever.
You never finished your sentence, and this one is framed.
Because you didn't let me, but whatever. I'll just keep mine. Fuck it.
I can give you some more prints. I have prints coming out of my ass. So.
I'm thinking about selling a bunch.
You have a nice sleep one you got from me for cheap.
Yeah, it's on the wall. That's the one over there.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm interested in buying some frames for real though.
Well, I have frames, but they're cheap IKEA frames.
It doesn't matter as long as they're framed and the posters are cool.
Let's
not talk.
I have to buy a vessel. I have to buy a vessel to put my posters in first. One of those big. Anyway,
you were talking about the transcendental moments when you were looking at sleep. I had because you even spoke about a outer body experience, which was taken a bit high.
Almost. It was very. I've never had it since before. It was a moment for sure. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's similar to what people call like a runner's high. Like I'm obviously fat, so I don't run. So I don't know what that feels like, but it was truly a moment of pure bliss where my body kind of felt different. It was very strange, but wow.
I do get that, and even without, or not that that's a surprise, but even without having done any drugs or drunk any alcohol, I recognize that feeling. And it's just you allow it to happen in a way. You just drift off and solely focus on the music and the band that's playing and the air around you. I do get that. And from the moment someone interrupts you in your whatever trance, you're pulled right back to normal life or something.
I have a habit when I go to a show that I often like touch my friends and be like, hey, wow, did you see that, what he did or what he did? So yeah. I don't think I was pulled out of it though. Most of that show I kind of felt that way. It was not just the one moment. But
I danced with Thomas that show.
Yeah.
Like two boyfriends. It was such an incredible. It was incredible.
Beautiful.
It's like you said, the 16-year wait, but then delivered in such a way. They even played Dope Smoker. I don't know if they played it in full. They played a huge chunk of it. But
they played, I think, about 25 to 30 minutes. Dope Smoker.
Fuck. Did they do the, what should I call it? When I saw them for the first time was at AB, Ancien Belgique. That show is not on my list, but maybe another sleep show, Roadburn, Desert Fest, but did they do the pause?
Which
Like
pause?
I'll never forget they're playing like 7 or 8 minutes into Dope Smoker, and they just quit. Everything falls silent. He walks up to the microphone, grabs his beer, and says, "We're gonna take a short break." And all the lights go on, and they stop playing for 10 minutes. The lights go dark again, and they start playing exactly where they left off, and almost no one said a word. It was so weird.
That's a very good troll, but no, they did not do that
But
because I would have
someone
been.
told me, because I think a friend of mine did an internship as a sound guy at AB. I think it was either an internship or he did know someone that did an internship. And he told me, so I don't know if this is true. This is true. It's because they played so loud, the decibels and the overall volume is measured over time. And they had to take a break to lower the decibels so they could continue playing.
I know. I think Han has told me that before. That Sleep did that on their headline shows. Han does sound for Sleep sometimes. Yeah. I mean, and there's more bands that do that. When I used to tour with the Brazilian metal band I used to tour with, we used to put down the cash sometimes. We're like, how much is the fee? How much is the fee if they come and check it? And they're like, this much, and we just put it down. Motorhead used to do it too. Like, how much is the fee? Boom, just put the cash on the table and play as loud as you want.
Okay.
But then Sleep, they're smart about it. Yeah.
It seems. Wait a minute. Do you know what year it is, Sleep?
It was April 14th, 2012.
Because it was a mindfuck how long it's been. But it seems they played part of Dope Smoker, Holy Mountain, Dragonaut, Sonic Titan, on Antarctic Installed, Aquarian from Beyond, and then another Dope Smoker part. So that was a very full set. I don't know how long it was, but it must have been
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Could it be that set
Great
is
show.
on YouTube?
Possibly.
Because there's a very, very intense Sleep set on YouTube with decent sound recording, but the video production is so superb.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's that one, but it's possible.
It could be Roadburn, but I'm not sure.
Well, the audio quality is always perfect on Roadburn. Is it full set?
I have no idea.
It says Live at Hellfest is the first full set I can see on YouTube. But yeah, there are probably numerous sets on there.
Even if I was at Hellfest, I wouldn't go see them there. Like, even being a fanboy, I wouldn't go see them at Hellfest. It's just not the
festival for them.
Yeah.
I've
I
never
can see that. I've been there once when I was young. But I think you're right.
You're right. Okay, next show maybe. I'll begin. The show that came to mind when you say transcendental and outer body experience. The first time, I think, because it's one of those shows, I have to try to remember when it was. This is the Blood Incantation live LP they did. Band from Denver. It is.
Who released a fucking insane record last year, or was it this year?
That's a hard.
Last year.
The Aliens thing. That's the first time I heard them, and it sold me. And I think it's. Is it late? What genre should you label it?
I think just
death metal.
Yeah. I would say death metal. But that's how I discovered them too. I was completely unaware of them before, until I started reading raving reviews about them online. But go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
It's no problem. It's from last year. The Hidden History of the Human Race was their second full length after Starspawn. This is the I I remember going to them. The first time was in 2017 at Magasin 4 in Brussels. And the second time was in Het Bos in Antwerpen on the second tour. So they came twice. In Magasin 4, I had the same thing you're talking about, but you know when you sometimes see the stage lights and they form these patterns and triangles, and I was completely lost in that. I saw a pyramid come to life. I drank some beers, but I didn't do any drugs, but I saw a real pyramid appear when they were playing. And this is a band that is known for pyramids. So they have pyramids in their artwork, so I was kind of influenced, but
yeah,
it was fucking weird. They must have felt it too, because the picture you can see it probably.
It's from that show?
Yeah, it's from the Magasin 4 show. So it is done by Simon J. Wart, and it's from the Magasin 4 show. So that was a show that, I'm glad you both know the music, so I don't have to go too much into it. It is, a newer
By the way,
band.
Totally off topic, but I just have to throw it out there. I love the passion Tom talks about these kind of things.
So
you care for so much detail. Like you even read the name of the photographer that took the picture. You go so deep. I fucking love it.
It's about the picture, man. So that was one of those shows that, I mean, the level of playing of these guys is, I haven't seen too many bands pull that shit off. They're kind of stoic. It's not like you see them trashing around, but yeah, if they come true, I would highly recommend.
I would love to see them in a club setting, because I believe they had a festival tour this summer, which obviously is not happening. But
what show was it, Tom?
The one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The 2017 Magasin 4 show on the European Necrosis tour.
Wasn't there. Too bad.
Yeah.
Me neither. I was still unaware of them at that point.
They came on my radar pretty early with their EP. I actually bought the last one on Earth, just available from a shop, I think, because I ordered it in Australia. I remember that. I think that was 2016, 15, 16, I think.
Damn, but that's a cool thing to have.
They were playing tricks.
Summer. I know. No, this June or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a chance, they'll probably come back if the shit goes to normal sometime.
5 to 6 years.
5 to 6 years. They'll be grandpas.
So will we.
Yeah. Rubben, it's your turn.
Fuck. I only get to pick one, right?
Rise and fall.
No, I'll try to, since we have a theme going on, the transcendental theme. I was afraid somebody was going to mention the band. I don't think any of you were.
I love that you don't name them. The band.
Is the one from the record? Is it the one from the record?
Rienk might have been there, but it was Sunn playing at the Vooruit in Ghent.
Oh, I was there for sure.
You were there, but
me too.
It really.
Yeah, way in the back, both of us.
Ah, I don't think I knew any of you guys back then.
You were 14.
We were.
Yeah, no, I was.
12
or something. Yeah.
No, this is like what, 4 years ago?
It's the last show they played in Belgium.
No, 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Because it was around the release of Hello. No, Evil Against Evil, our first demo. And that's when we existed a year and we're existing 4 years now, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But it might have also been the fact we built a whole Sunn day around that show.
Oh, really? How did that go?
We saw that show be announced, and I think only Niels, our previous guitar player, had seen the show, Gregory, Niels' girlfriend, and me had never seen Sunn. So for some reason, we decided to build a Sunday. But it wasn't a Thursday, but we built a Sunday.
But yeah, but what did it entail? That's what I'm kind of asking.
And now I'll find out if my mother listens to this.
So there we were in the stable.
No, there we were at 10 a.m.
Circle jerking.
We all met up at our rehearsal space at 10 a.m. We ate breakfast, drank coffee, talked shit, whatever. And then we started dipping. I think Molly. Yeah, I think we started Molly. Then just sat there, did stuff, played music, but mostly just drone things and lay in front of the cabs. So we were trying to warm up. Then we took 2CB, and it makes you kind of trippy. It was only
You're talking
5
to all
in the
people.
afternoon.
I thought a 2CV was a car.
But it's called bath salts in America, but
Why?
I don't even want to know now.
but
Bad salts.
Skip to the sun.
But whatever. It's not about the day, but the show made it so memorable. We arrived, but the
I actually
the
think it was
opener-
the other way around. But
What?
go on.
The show enjoyed you.
Exactly.
I did not enjoy that show at all.
No, me neither.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
By the way, I'll have a question for you later, but whatever. So we arrived at the show, but we didn't go inside because the opening act, it didn't sound too promising. It was brown metal.
Chinese guys or something, right?
The
Was not
brown
Roadburn.
metal. I only
Oh no, that was Amra. Sorry.
The Rubben. The Rubben, right?
exactly.
That's an expired taste.
I don't like it. But the thing I'll never forget is the atmosphere when we walked into the Vooruit and you go inside when it's the big hall.
Mm-hmm.
You go inside through a staircase outside next to the water, and everyone's like, I don't want to say stressed, but you could feel this hum in the air, and the room was filled with papers. Also smoke, but paper before the show even started, with disclaimers: wear earplugs, blah blah blah. This is a loud show.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went inside, smoked a joint. First smoked the joint, then went inside. What?
A lot of drugs in that story, but go on.
I'm sorry. Now I'm ashamed.
Nah.
Finish your story.
Story's almost finished. No, I'll never forget, like, the room went silent when the lights dimmed, but the show didn't start for another 10 minutes because they still had to fill up the room. I don't remember the whole show, but I just remember the transcendental feeling. Like, I do know I took a break, went outside, smoked a cigarette, went for a soda or something, then went back in and felt like just laying. And I'll never forget Gregory tapping me on the shoulder, and I was so mad at him because I felt like I was floating on a cloud or something, and I was doing this in the back, so you might have seen me or whatever, but he woke me up for a reason, because I stood up and I could feel the vibrations in my cheek, and Abdullah had the suit with the mirrors and the purple laser. And I was so sick, man. Fuck! And when the show finished, Niels cried because it was over. And it was we tried going to a bar, have another beer, but nothing would come even close to what just happened. So it was
One question.
Say it.
Is that the first and only time you saw them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, I saw them. Oh fuck. Somewhere else, or it might have been the show coming up. I don't even remember. They had a show coming up, but nah, I couldn't say. Sorry.
They were playing at. Didn't they play the last Belgian show? Was I think at the Cohen in Kortrijk. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I saw them there. I wasn't moved. I wasn't.
That's the second time, I guess.
Probably.
I didn't like the Yen show because it was too packed. It was in my eyes oversold or whatever. It was too much people. Yeah, and the music at that time they released Canon, I think, and I don't know. I kind of fell off around that time, but I saw them some very good times. I remember we went to temples to see them, and it was 2 or 2.5 hour set, maybe to 3 hours. When we were when I was done, because the other guys went way before me out before me. When we were walking back to our hotel, we can hear hotel rooms rattling a kilometer from the venue where they were playing. It was insane. Yeah, I've seen them.
Nice.
A lot of people hate that band because, you know, they always get that it's just one chord being hit every half hour. They don't do anything, but I don't know, man. They still are a very big cornerstone in what I'm listening to now and what I'm doing now.
I know you're a very big fan, and I listened to 2 of their records, and I probably will never listen to another record they make. But if they play live in the area, I'm probably always gonna go see them.
But the records are just for people like me, and I mean that positive.
In the nerdiest sense of the word.
Yeah, for example, yeah, it's just an aesthetic to collect, I think, because I don't play them too much. I play Black One twice a year, maybe 3 times a year, because that's really a gateway record for me. But for the rest, I don't know.
But I do love the last 2 they released.
The last
live
2 released.
Stupidest title ever, especially for a band like Sunn. But live metal, what? I don't get it.
I think it's, I don't know. It's a weird title, but it kind of fits the aesthetic of the records that they were going for at that time. And I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a positive spin on something very dark, because those records aren't dark anymore. If you compare it to Black One, for example, it's day and night. So because everybody is always, you have White One and White Two, and I'm going way too hard on this, but there's only a Black One. There's never been a Black Two, and everybody's asking for do another one, but it maybe will turn out like a Probot record more than a Sunn record, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They don't have to do Black Two because Black One is. But I think they're kind of on a search to what they are going to do now. I have to admit I haven't listened to live metal or Pyroclasts that much on record.
Yeah, I liked it. I really liked it. It might have been the Sunn record I played most.
Okay.
Because what Rienk said is how I'll remember and think of Sleep, like that live band. And I'll try again when they play a show around again. But the show at the Kroon, it was a good show nonetheless, but I have the floating memories, and it's got the top floating memories. So
it's kind of comparable to a show Amun-Ra does. You have some Amun-Ra shows that really take you under, and you have some Amun-Ra shows that are just an Amun-Ra show. If the venue for Sunn comes together, if the guests that are performing with them are on point, if they get the right atmosphere going, and if the crowd is willing to go with them, it's the best show. But at the Vooruit, I had the feeling like I was at because you were talking about the papers that were warning for earplugs.
Yeah.
Necessary anymore, because it was so low. I had the feeling that I was going in and out of a spa treatment, like you say. You go in, you go out for a smoke, you come back in for some vibrations, and
yeah,
there was no
it's
challenge.
in the rider. They have They have to put those papers out to be covered by insurance and not get sued.
Yeah, but that's not even why I was harping on. There was just no. It felt very stale. It felt very stale.
You mean the danger was peeled off?
Yeah, there was no danger.
Might sound too edgy, but
I saw them at Domino Festival at AB. It was in 2006, I think. And they played with Julian Cope. The pre-show was Boris, so Boris joined them on stage. Yeah, I mean, Atul with his gong, that's how I remember it. The gong went over, he went over the drums and then jumped into the crowd with half of his drum kit. Julian Cope was, grand speaking off of his laptop and stuff like that. And it was only Moog, so there was no guitar, there was no bass, it was just synthesizer wall of sound. That was incredible.
I wanna pitch in real quick because I want to talk about a show that I went to in the AB, which I believe was in 2006, because the year sparked this memory just now when you said it. I hadn't written it down because I kind of forgot about it, but it's the first time I saw the Melvins at the AB in 2006, and they were supported by Big Business. This was when Big Business was also in the band, so they had two drummers, and a band called Porn opened up. And that whole bill was amazing. Big Business was they just released that white record, I think. I forgot the name.
What was the year?
I think it was 2006, yeah. I might be off, but I believe it was 2006. Yeah? Maybe 4.
I don't know, because I think yours was later. Why? Because I looked up Melvins RCA Belgique 2006, and what comes up is a show that I have on my list.
Yeah.
Thomas and Melvins Big Band.
Wait, I'll do Melvins Big Business AB.
2008, maybe 7.
2007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the. Of course, I have the ticket stub for the 2006 show.
Yeah, that was a really good show. Just like being so young, experiencing the Melvins. I even had King Buzzo as a picture on my my credit card. So I was a really big Melvins fan. So that was a good show. Nothing in particular that stood out, but it just sparked that memory because you were talking about 2006, and then I thought it was 2006. Yeah.
I had a Sunn credit card, so to make this full circle.
There you go.
A credit card or just a regular?
A bank pass.
Around that time, banks would offer you to put any picture of your choosing on your bank card.
I know. I have one on mine now, so.
I asked them, my bank, I just changed banks, and I asked them, like, can I change them? Because I have like a credit card for work and a regular one, a credit and a debit, and then a credit and a debit on my personal name. Yeah. I want to do them in different colors so I can keep them apart because they're all the same color. And they're like, no, our bank is blue. It has to be blue. I'm like,
is it KBC?
Yeah.
Mine's KBC as well, and I changed it on the mobile app they have, but on my laptop.
Oh, okay.
Because I tend to lose mine kind of very often. The last time I called Cardstop and requested a new card, I searched for it, I Googled it first, and then I found an FAQ that explained. So maybe just have a look around because it's a half a year ago.
I just took a Sharpie and I wrote work on it on my work cards.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, there's I mean, I don't really count the Melvin show as a big one. Though another one I wrote down was BB King at Voice Nationale in Brussels. I've always been a really big BB King fan. I grew up listening to a lot of blues and jazz because my mom used to love all that stuff. So because my grandparents loved that stuff, and my grandfather was a well-respected member of the jazz and blues community around the world. So that was kind of spoon-fed to us. And then one day, like our entire family, including my grandfather, and this is probably why it's such a good memory and such a memorable show, because my grandfather, which is my all-time hero, was there too and was enjoying it with us.
Did he play music? Why was he respected because you dropped the bomb there? And
I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
Not on podcast. But
could he play music or no?
I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
But yeah, BB King was a god. Even though the show was kind of bad, it was so rehearsed. Even the sparkly solo moments for everyone in the band were so rehearsed, and so it just did not feel genuine. And this was in 2006, so I was pretty young, and even I recognized this to be just an American show. You know, he was already getting older and even fatter than he was before, so he was sitting in like some type of a throne the whole show. Yeah. He was pretty much carried on stage and carried off. So it took a little bit of the magic away, but for me, it was the first time seeing him live, consciously seeing him live, because I had seen him before when I was like very young, but I just don't remember.
How old were you?
But yeah, that was
2006.
In 2006, I was.
What year are you
19,
from?
19.
Okay.
Wait, this was. Oh yeah, I just turned 19 because this was September 16th. So yeah, I had just turned 19, and my favorite shirt that I own, I retired from wearing it because it started to get holes in it everywhere. Tom knows it because I used to wear it everywhere. It's that BB King shirt from that tour, for which I paid 35 fucking euros.
Oh,
my mom did, but anyway.
Oh hell, mom.
And yeah, I retired that shirt, and I'm hoping to frame it soon.
I get it.
It's just a memory of my grandfather more than anything else.
We need to talk about that sometime, but not here.
Yeah.
Let it go.
That was That was nice. That was nice, man. Meanwhile, I found my Sunn bank pass.
Oh, epic.
Oh, you still have it, of course.
I just found it. Like I was going through boxes of stuff like this, and
you didn't find it. Just found it. You looked for it. You knew where it was.
Yeah. But I found it like yesterday, and then reminded me.
Yeah.
I also found this one. This is the original plate for that ruined tape you were going for, but you have the spine and this small.
Yeah. Nice.
That's for when Dantje comes on.
I remember that show at the zoo.
Yeah. No.
Is that the one where I almost got killed?
What?
One of the times, probably. No. Let's talk about that show.
No. Let's leave it till Bramoke comes on because we'll have to retell it. But
no, I don't think Dantje. I don't know. No, I want to tell the story now. I'm just gonna keep it very short. But I remember this show had a band called like Nervous Attack or something.
Let's see.
Who else was playing? Was not the show. No, was not the one where I. It was Framed. Wasn't that Colin? Framed.
What?
This guy Colin used to do these Framed shows. No.
It doesn't say.
No, there was another show at the zoo in Hasselt where some people turned up with machetes.
What?
And started chasing people, and I was one of the people that looked them straight in the eye, and they focused on, and they came after me with a machete. But if you know the setup there, the street there where it was, it was right on a corner where there's a graveyard.
Yeah.
So I started running like a little bit, shouting like, I didn't do anything. I literally just looked at them to see what was going on because people were screaming. And I looked at them, and this guy locked eyes with me and came after me with his machete. And I ran around the corner towards the graveyard, but there's a very low wall and like high bushes. And I literally, as I got around the corner, I never ran this fast in my life. I jumped into the bushes and just went face down on the floor. But while I was running, I could see they had the car with 3 doors open and a driver ready for them to just bail out. It was. So the girls at the entrance wouldn't let these guys in. These guys were just like walking up like this, trying to get into the show. They weren't let in, and one of them kicked one of the girls in the face, I think. And then they left, and they came back 10 minutes later with like a couple more dudes, and they had machetes, and they tried to get into the show. But there were like, this was in between 2 bands, and there were so many people outside. I think they just gave up. I'm not sure what happened. The cops were called, but I never heard anything.
But was the attempt killing people or just being edgy?
No one got killed. I think one person got cut, but definitely not lose any limbs or something. I think they were just trying to like show muscle or something. Being very, very macho.
That's very macho, showing up with a machete.
God damn.
I never heard that story, man. That's literally 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
But that was not the Ruin show.
This is not the Ruin show. It was. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember now.
And did the show continue?
The show continued.
Yeah.
Nice.
Zoo didn't. They had no closing hour. That was one of those clubs. When shows were done, the drugs came out.
Yeah, the Goa parties started, and
I hated that shit, man.
Yeah, me too.
Holy shit!
We once even had like a school party at the zoo. I'm like, you're doing a school party at the zoo, a place where I mosh? What the fuck are you? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I felt so weird.
One of my most dangerous quote-unquote shows was this one, the Shining in Watain at the Bebop in Vosselaar. And this is in 2011, so also some time ago. I was barely getting into Watain at that time, and I managed to convince one of my friends because I didn't have a driver's license, to drive all the way to the fucking Bebop.
Which is far.
Which is a drag to get to.
Yeah.
But we were 2011, so what's that, 9 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Around 30, so not that influential of an age, but that was around the time I got to know them. The pre-show was Shining, and the front man, that Nicolas guy, is kind of off the rails as it is, but he had his slave, or maybe just one of the audience members, cut up lines of speeds and then just presented to him while he was singing, and he was doing rails through the show, through the song, after the song, before the song. And that was...
He was doing what?
Rails of speed. Just lines of speed. That was before Watain got on. There was a guy drunk out of his mind that got beaten to the ground, that fell in the glass. There was blood everywhere, and that was before Watain was getting on.
Yeah.
And then putrid smell filled the Bebop. That was
it was the full production with the goat heads and everything.
They even had fire in the Bebop.
Yeah, you can, but no spitting fire, only like the burning. Yeah.
Flaming crosses, flaming tridents, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that was the only time I really smelled them, because I've seen them a few times, but I smelled them there.
I went to the release show in Berlin when I lived in Berlin. The release show of, was it their last record or the record before that?
Yeah, it's hard to say. When were you in Berlin?
I had just moved to Berlin, so this was 2016, late 2016.
Probably
early 2017 that the show was.
Trying to look up which record that might have been.
And I went there. I bought tickets the second they got announced, because I'm like, oh, this is the album release tour. They're only doing 5 shows around Europe. It's gonna be with the full production, full everything, but they had no dead animals, they had nothing, and I was so bummed out.
Last time I saw them, one of the set pieces slowly, like a trident that stuck up slowly, came down, and it just ruined everything. That's one of the things. That the show was incredible, the set list was incredible, they had everything. The venue was incredible because it was no 13, but a small venue. So it was kind of small for a Watain show, but just that trident slowly going through the ground. Ruined.
I'm looking up.
I can help you out. But which year was Berlin, you say?
I think 2016 or 17. Early 2017, I think. Because they played the same venue again a year later.
They had Nuclear Alchemy single out in 2017, but the Trident Wolf Eclipse, the album wasn't out till 2018, and there's no 2016 album. So maybe it's
because I moved around when 2000. I moved a few days before New Year's Eve, 2016.
I'm not trying to discredit you. I'm just
no. So it must have been 2017.
Was it not the Watain Mayhem tour? Did you see Mayhem in Berlin?
I saw Mayhem in Berlin, but not. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same tour. It was that English band supporting Mayhem. What do they call again? I know the venue name. Let me look it up. Mayhem, Columbia, Halle, Berlin.
English band that was supporting Mayhem. I don't know. Rubben.
What up?
Are you Stevie Wonder now?
Sorry?
Are you Stevie Wonder now?
No, it was just too much light. But I can.
We have to cut this anyway, so.
Why?
Because we're just looking shit up.
But we're filling it up with this shit, so.
Then put on your glasses.
Yeah, I can't find
It's nerd shit.
Yeah.
That was my that was my dangerous show, I guess. Don't remember anything else except for the guy just covered in blood that got thrown out. That was the highlight of the low light of that show.
Or highlight.
Yeah. I saw Watain at Grass Pop 2015, I think, when I was there with the Brazilians, and it was a really good show. I was also really fucking drunk.
I haven't seen them bad, even at the Grass Pop show, which was a huge fucking tent. They still kill it.
Yeah, it was the big thing. Yeah.
They get a lot of hate, but mainly out of the.
We had a dressing room right across from them. No, stop. I was gonna say something and then I realized, this is gonna be a lot of bleeping and a lot of cutting.
I'm getting here. You suck.
Fuck.
I was like, as I was thinking, I was like, whoa, relax. What's he gonna do? What did he say? Where did he go?
He just walked off.
Keeps
into the night. I have to admit, I don't know Watain, I don't care for Watain, and I just Googled it, so I still stand behind what I'm saying because I've heard of Watain, but
yeah.
Jesus.
What? All right, you're up.
Rubben is up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said I didn't vouch for. Ah, nice.
Heavy.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I have a couple that came to mind whilst you were talking, and I'll stick to the first one that came up because I do have to mention it. It's actually two shows, and none of them would be memorable if it weren't that the band was Tool. I saw them this year and I have the poster. The poster is so fucking good looking. That is just because it's Tool. Like, I've been waiting for that show for literally my entire life, 14 years. So and they played the Ziggo Dome in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
What a fucking huge venue! Holy moly!
Have you been there, Rienk?
It's an arena. Yeah.
It's an arena. Yeah, it's an arena. And up until like few weeks before the show, not even when I was ordering tickets, I was like, yeah, a lot of people want to see Tool, but only a few weeks before the show when I started researching, like, is there parking? Can we make a day in Amsterdam before we go to the show? And then I found out it's an arena. So only then it clicked, Tool, my favorite band, is an arena selling out band. I still like them. But the show for 95% was very good because it had to be that good. I had been waiting for that show for 14 years. And like the setting was perfect. I spent a whole day in Amsterdam with my girlfriend, and I went to the show with my two best friends I introduced Tool to. So if anyone in my close circle shares my love for Tool, it's those two people and my girlfriend, but she recently gave back my Tool records, and I don't think she even listened to them once because I have another way of putting records back into the sleeve that she does. I put them with the record out, and she's always mad at me for doing that because I can just take the record by turning the sleeve, and she turns them upside down, so she has to take the cardboard out. But that show, and then a week or maybe 2 weeks later at Rockwerchter, it's the first time I've been to Rockwerchter. It was only for Tool, but literally only for Tool. I saw The Cure, that was good. Didn't know what I saw the rest of that day. But both shows were really good, but not the legendary status they have I've made them to be.
The only band that did that for me, because I know what you're talking about, but that's the same story. We were starting off with Sleep. Sleep made it happen. I don't think Tool made it happen, especially with that last album, which is, we're not going to go back into it, but it's crap. Yeah, I've been a huge Tool fan for forever, I guess. And I saw them some times that were pretty good. But the only time there was a band that was even better was Nine Inch Nails at Pukkelpop 2007 when they played before Tool. I was waiting for Tool because I knew Nine Inch Nails, but I never saw them live. So I was waiting for Tool, but when they came on, it was really not necessary anymore for Tool to play because they just killed it. They killed the entire venue. That's there it is, my number one favorite show. They yeah, the way they came on, the way the podium was decorated, or however you want to call it, they had this net filled with LED lights. That just the title of the song would come in red, and then they had some shit going through it. It was incredible. It was one of the first shows that visually stayed with me that I ever saw. Actually.
Yeah, he's known to be very involved in the creating process of the whole production and the stage production of the show. And I've been, even though I'm not a big Nine Inch Nails fan, I'm dying to see them live one day because whatever they're gonna put on stage, it's gonna be good.
It's one of those bands that I'm actually more off with the aesthetic than with the music. I love their music, but not everything. It's like with a lot of bands. There are some incredible tracks, but there is also the aesthetic of that. Last time I showed the mud covered pictures from Woodstock, just those pictures is enough to give me a boner. But yeah, that band has so many incarnations and so many people going in and out of it, and it's always been consistently very good. There's one video on YouTube. It's called Nine Inch Nails Great Destroyer at Pukkelpop, and that's just they could have done with 1 minute before they start because you have the build up that's missing. It just goes
Straight into the song.
Trigger, and then it explodes into everything. So yeah, that was.
I know that video.
Hair stands in the back of my neck moments.
I know that video. I've never seen him live either, because I've mentioned it like a couple of times, at least a couple of times. Tool was my all-time favorite band, and everything came underneath that. And I was aware of Nine Inch Nails as I was aware of Nails, but I was always, I can't say afraid, but I didn't allow myself to check out other bands because I knew the favorite spot is contested, and I just wanted Tool to be in the top tier. But now I love discovering. Yeah, but now I love discovering things like Nine Inch Nails, and I do the whole deep cut. I focus on every phase, period, or album. And I think I've watched every good, decent production live video, and now I'm dying to see Nine Inch Nails live.
Yeah, it's something that I saw them. I think I have a memory made up of seeing them at the Lotto Arena. I'm not sure if I was there.
No idea.
Yes, but the second time I saw them was at Pukkelpop again in 2013, and they just started playing at that golden moment in the festival when the sun is finally starting to go down a bit.
It's the perfect slot.
Yeah. So they started with an empty stage, completely empty, and then one TM or whatever one stagehand would put on one light. There was one light on the stage. Then there was a mic. Then there was his instrument board, whatever. Then he came on, and they just built the entire set with roll-on screens and stuff like that. So every time,
amazing,
mind blowing. You just type in Nine Inch Nails and then just see some live images from Tokyo or whatever from around that time. I think 2013. It's mind blowing what he's doing. He's now mainly doing soundtracks, so that's one. Yeah,
and killer soundtracks.
They did a tour. I think
killer
it's like
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think it's like 5 years ago. They did a tour with moving LED screens on stage.
They played Rock Werchter with that tour.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see the show, but
me neither. But I saw a documentary of the making of the production and whatever went into it, and I was like, my mind was blown because I'm a nerd. Like Tom is a nerd for physical musical items and getting into the nitty gritty of whatever he listens to. I have this with stage productions and touring stuff. So like I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff to watch. I want to know everything that happens backstage and who like which production manager, blah blah blah.
You have to wait.
Can you repeat the last sentence?
Did I drop out again?
Yeah.
Well, at least the audio is recording, so fuck it. I'm not saying it again.
Okay.
Oh, exciting. Now I do have to listen to it because I'm dying to hear what you said. But fuck, I completely lost track because I was so into your story. I know what I was going to say. You should link the link to the documentary so we can. I want to see it, and I'm sure
I'll
our
have to go
fans would
find
like
it.
to see it.
I'll try my best.
I'll find it.
You cut
If
out
it's on the
earlier.
internet, I'll find it.
What were you talking about? Because you cut out. What documentary?
The documentary about the stage production of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I have a few more shows, but I don't know how much time we have left. But
Still have like 30 minutes left or something.
Okay, I'll ramble off all the ones I wrote from Roadburn.
No.
Like two.
Keep a few. We might do in the future a follow-up episode to this. So.
Oh really? Yeah.
Why not?
We've makes sense.
Only done two.
It will come up in conversation naturally.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm gonna forget to write this down.
Just pick your fun one and round off. The most fun one you ever been to, the most crazy, the
most fun one?
One for all, and then we'll talk about something else.
Okay, I have one. It's it's not the most fun one, but it's again a family memory. I bought tickets for my mom and myself to go see Leonard Cohen. Not too long before he died, he played here in Ghent at the St. Peter's Square, 2012. And they sometimes put up, like Prince played there the year before, I think, or the year after. They put up the stage in front of the church, and it's just outdoor. It has seating. It's like 4,000 cap shows, I believe.
No. It's way more. It's
not
way more.
One. No, it can't be.
It's at the St. Peter's Square because I've been. They do one big artist every year because I've seen Björk.
Yeah, but there's no way in hell this was more for them 4,000 people for the Leonard Cohen show.
No
way.
Square, right?
Yeah, but they don't utilize the entire square because the entire square fits a lot more people than
they
4,000.
did for Björk.
No. This was not. They literally had in front of the church. They had the stage, and then the same width of the stage was the crowd area, just until where the street started. So it was not the entire.
Definitely not.
But yeah, I just remember looking over at my mom when he was playing, and she was so intensely happy, and I was happy that I was like. I had just started touring. I was only touring for a little bit. I'm very bad at keeping in touch when I'm on tour. To anyone that's near and dear to me will attest to it. That it's annoying that I never like text or whatever. But I'm literally working. Yeah, I'm working, and then I'm like, I still love you. I just don't text you and ask you how your day was, because then you ask how my day was. And I'm just gonna say good, even though so much shit happened. Like I'll come back from a tour, like a month and a half long tour, and someone asks me how was it, I'll say it's good, and that's all I have to say about the tour. Like it's just who I am. But so my mom had a hard time with that in that transitional period when I started touring a lot. And this was kind of a gift for me because I wanted to see him too, but I know she would be very happy. And we went together, and it was just a very, very good show. And I remember trying to get into Leonard Cohen when I was younger, and I couldn't get into it for some reason. And then I did start getting into it like very slowly, and that was about the time where he came to play that show. And
that's perfect, man.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments in time that was just whatever the circumstances in my personal life were, and me ending up at that show with my mom and just having this blissful feeling that I did something right and that I kind of made up for a lot of shit, and also seeing great artists. What?
You bought her a ticket.
Yeah, it was my treat. Because my mom, when I started touring, I was only making $50 a day. I only had 2 or 3 tours a year. Like I wasn't doing great. So my mom, if it wasn't for my mom, I would have quit touring a long time ago. So yeah.
You know how slice through the middle, I'm just a normal guy doing a normal job, paying normal taxes. It still boggles my mind how you do it, how you manage to make a living out of it.
Now I make a good living because I've worked for a certain amount of years. Now I'm not making a living. But at least it's fine. It's still a struggle sometimes because whenever I'm not working, I'm not making money. I'm only spending money. So when I'm home, I'm just throwing money out the window pretty much. But you also can't tour too much. You got to take care of your mental health and all that kind of stuff as well. So you got to take that into account.
Does it take a lot of you, the touring?
Huge toll. Yeah, after a while it does. In the beginning it didn't, but then
You get older, I guess. Maybe.
yeah. But let's not make this episode about that. I'll talk about that on another episode. Well, we'll get deeper into that. But yeah, it takes a toll for
I
sure.
was just wondering because we never talk about that shit.
No, it's true, but I mean it's just crazy because I would make a very good living, only I have to pay an exorbitant amount of taxes because Belgium is set up so you fail. If you're a sole trader, you're just set up to fail. It's insane. So yeah, if I make 100 euros, I basically give 50 euros to the government. So like half of it is just gone.
Yeah.
And
That's
stupid
for everybody.
That's stupid, but not that much.
I know.
Anyhow,
But
anyway,
yeah.
like if I have a good tour, would it? What?
Someone has to pay for all this free money going around right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Let's not make this about that.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
Where were we before we
I talked about Leonard Cohen.
It's one of those artists that I know is worth checking out, is worth getting into, is probably an enrichment to my life if I get it. It's just the discography is so pink. One album to get me into it.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
What pulled me in?
It's one of the few artists that I don't listen to albums from. Because I'm an album person, but that like Leonard Cohen, I just put it on and let it shuffle and.
I tried the same thing like 2 or 3 years ago, around the time I met my girlfriend. I knew there was something in there for me, but it just the sheer amount blew me away. And then there was this time a remix from one of his songs from the last album got remixed or whatever. Yeah, obviously remixed. And it's the last album. I just listened to the most recent album, and that's the one that pulled me in.
Okay, that's cool. I haven't even listened to that one yet.
Mostly
that's the one I know.
But yeah, last.
Sorry.
Mostly I start with the first album and then just go check it out. But
yeah, I know that's the normal order, but that's how Leonard Cohen pulled me in because I tried listening to the first album a couple of times, but it didn't click or whatever. But
when I check a new podcast, I listen to the last one, so it's the other way around.
Yeah.
I say if you're gonna listen to Leonard Cohen, start around 1967 to 1977. He did some really good stuff there for sure.
That's helpful.
Sorry, I want to throw something in real quick because Rienk made me thought about it. The thing with your mom, I went to not the same show, but in the exactly same venue, the St. Peter's Square, with my mom. We went to see Björk. Because my mother's a huge Björk fan, and I didn't know. I wasn't even a huge Björk fan, but I saw the show announced and I was like, I kind of want to see that. And I just casually told it at the Sunday dinner. She was like, I want to go. And I was like, that'd be fun. And I made a shirt. I don't have it here because I'm moving. But I took my mother to a few shows before. And every time she was a little, I couldn't say pissed, but she felt left out because I met people at the show I knew. And she always was the third wheel, and so she was kind of hesitant of joining me on the show. So I said, I'll print the shirt. I'm on a date with my mother. Leave me alone. So I have a shirt.
That's amazing.
Why do you not
have
have
mijn moeder, laat mij gerust. And I wore that shirt at that show. She even had it printed. I said, I'll wear it. She printed it. I wore it. It was this hot summer's day. We had dinner first, then went to the show, and she was like flabbergasted by the sheer volume of the show. Like you had to buy tokens there, you had to buy drinks there, blah blah blah. And I wore the shirt, and I saw people I noticed, and they read the shirt, and I didn't even care if they thought funny of me or whatever. I was there to enjoy the Björk show with my mother, and it was amazing. Like
that's the cutest thing I've ever heard, and I think that's amazing. I might even steal the idea one day.
Yeah, you should. You should.
I want you to wear that shirt next time we do the follow-up episode of this. You gotta wear the shirt on the podcast.
That should be the first one we're together in the room.
Check.
The first one, if we ever do one together, to follow up to this.
Sure.
Yeah, it works. Works for me.
That's the table we'll do at the white one.
So next week we'll drive the hustle next Tuesday.
I'll make it a pizza.
No, seriously. You want to do it next week?
I'll drive.
I got my mom's car. I got the yellow beast.
Oh, so you're not drinking or whatevering?
No, you have a bob.
Oh no, yeah, you're driving. If I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna drink.
Can we stay over?
It's Corona, you know.
Just.
We
don't have a bed anymore. Mimi has a double bed. You both slept in. It's not horrible.
I can sleep on the floor, but
I've never slept at yours.
Oh no? Oh, maybe Rubben hasn't either.
No, I haven't either.
Okay. She has a bed. We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. But I'm down.
I'll make you one of my 4 people, Tom. Corona, whatever.
Here we go.
And I do know, I even know perfectly where that shirt is because I only wore it once, and it was here at my studio, but I brought it back home because I'm not wearing it, like as only on that occasion, like now for the fame and the podcast and whatever. But
you should make that shirt as our.
I perfectly know where that shirt is.
We should all have that shirt, and we should take all of our moms on a podcast episode once.
That's gonna be difficult for me, but let's.
I mean, well, you know, mine would love it.
Yeah, mine too. But
she would talk your ear off.
Probably.
One day.
Rubben, is that your favorite show? Let's make that your favorite show. Go.
I wouldn't. I'll sound harsher now, but Rienk's story made me think of that show.
Yeah.
Like when you said St. Peter's Square, it immediately rang a bell, and like the thing that I'll remember most was I don't care what shirt I'm wearing or what you think when you see me walking, but I knew.
What are you wearing right now, by the way?
Sorry?
What's on your shirt right now?
Trial and Error.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's Open Up Records, but I'll just turn it around.
Sounds like a mosh band.
No, it's just walk really fast. But it's like they have a split with the Monk.
Walk really fast, man. I love that.
Title for the show.
No, this is going. I gotta write that down.
Title. Great job, man. So let the Björk show be your freebie, and then just round off with your. Or I can do mine.
Yeah, do yours first.
My first one was the picture I showed on Instagram for this episode was the Waffelenbach.
Yeah.
Like Ships did, and I don't know too much about the other bands like Shallow Sanction. I don't know if I was there yet for that. Jesus Police was a band I was looking into for Hypertension at the time, but that I don't know where they went.
Is that an Anneke Ship show?
For sure. For sure, because she is the when you look it up at because I had to look it up on Facebook events and it says Wafelbach. It was in 2015 and it's hosted by Anneke. So once again, she's down for doing an episode. If I haven't mentioned it, she's down. I went with I think Jens from Volvo. He didn't introduce me to the band. I didn't think I knew Anastasia. I just wanted to go to another show, I guess. It was one of the first shows I went to in Music City, I think. I'm not sure. But they're a punk band from New York, from the more gothic-inspired punk. Do you know them? I guess you know them.
I don't.
It
Never
rings a
heard
bell.
I think you both will find something at least interesting about this band. They are on the La Vida es un Mus, that kind of punk layer. I'm not sure if you're Static Shock.
But I checked them out. After you posted the Instagram thing, I checked out the band.
Yeah, I had too many beers. That's what made it a great show. It was at the Airport Music, which is a great venue. I had too many beers. I was wasted. I lost my phone, lost the long sleeve I bought there, lost my dignity. But I did manage to
Gain the baby that night.
I bought the record on Discog because they didn't have it. I just went at Music City on their Wi-Fi and bought the record. It is incredible. I still love it to this day. It's 5 years now, and it's still on regular rotation. Nasty Witch Rock is what it's called. That's probably what it sounds like.
How old is the Casbahs?
Then?
No, how old is the Casbahs?
Mimi she's going to be 3. So this was pre.
I was hoping she was made that night after the show. That would have been amazing. Lost my phone, lost my dignity, gained a baby, bought a record on Discogs.
No, I can pinpoint when she was made. It's the nice purple version. You should check it out. I think
that's a beautiful purple.
Yeah, it is one of my more precious records. Not money wise because you can buy it for like $5. Yeah, Anastasia. It's that night will be engraved in my memory forever. I got a call the next day. Someone found my mobile phone and we had to drive back to where's the exit? I think not Olen, but
Heel. De Senderlo Meerhout.
Yeah, I had to.
The one after Heel.
Take that exit, and one of the people found it in the gas station, the previous exit. So he called the number.
Oh yeah, the one from the Senderlo probably. Yeah, Senderlo gas station.
Crazy nice. So I had my phone, but it was trashed beyond recognition.
I'll just throw one in, just because your story made me think of it. The whole lost my dignity, drank way too much, blah 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 thing. Cheers. But it isn't a really fun memory per se. It's a fun memory now. It wasn't a fun experience to me. It's not even that bad. I can't remember what show it was. I do have the poster. I do remember what show it was. I remember the year and everything. I have the poster in my parents' room, and I'll have to frame it now because I've completely forgot. I know what show it was. I know where it was. It was a year, but I was thinking it was either Vitamin X.
What's the show?
It's Vitamin X, Alcoholic Nightmare, thrash metal from Aalst. Evil Shepherd, legendary thrash from Ulst, and Sisson were friends of mine. But I distinctly remember the Vitamin X being labeled as hardcore, and the Vicious X Vicious X show I talked about a few episodes before was a month before that. So it's like, another hardcore show.
Yeah, let's go to yeah.
And I knew Sisson and Evil Shepherd. I only like those two thrash metal bands. Alcoholic Nightmare was not good. Really not good. It was a fun mosh pit, but and I don't know what happened exactly because I don't remember drinking. Oh, another band was playing. SSS.
SSS.
Shock.
Good band.
Yeah. That's the band from that show I still listen to.
I have one of the records CD, I think.
I have a signed poster, but I'll get to that later.
Worth about 160 euros.
Nothing. It's printed on a folded paper. It's I think maybe even an A4.
But it's
whatever. I remember the singer reading a book whilst Alcoholic Nightmare was playing. I was like, huh? But he had earplugs, wore glasses.
Why is he not moshing?
No, it was reading a book, and they played, and the whole atmosphere changed. Like the mosh pit got way more aggressive, and I must have been drinking. And then right after Vitamin X played, we were smoking a joint outside, but it was one of my first joints. And I remember the whole world spinning. But literally the whole world was spinning. So I could focus. That's the most... Oh, fuck. I hate it when I think about it. I couldn't orient where I was. I knew I was between people, so I was so ashamed. So I knew I had to get home. There's something with 20 euros I gave to someone. I told them I found it. Still not clear. I still think someone owes me 20 euros, but whatever. I remember unlocking my bike, checking my clock, and I'm so ashamed to tell you, but it wasn't that late at all. It was 15 minutes to 1 at night, so it wasn't that late.
I've been fucked up way before that.
Yeah.
But I got home at 2 at night normally that bicycle ride would have been 15 to 20 minutes.
Kim once put me to bed at 8 o'clock, washing my hands with a washcloth because I was my hands were sticking to my face because of drinking so much Geneva. Just you had to find that shit loose. I fell asleep at the restaurant we were eating. Geneva face.
I'll try to speed my story up. I remember crying in the field. It was dark and it was between fields. And it's a specific right turn to get home. And I only had my little lamp. And I started focusing like, did I have to go right now? Oh, fuck. And I was sure I missed the right turn. So I was like, I'll have to cycle another 4 hours. And I remember getting off my bike, actually crying, seeing the church as a
it's back in the distance
recognition point, and I cycled through the field, through the potatoes in August.
You're such a farm boy.
Straight home, and I'll never forget arriving home, feeling the world turn again, because this bicycle ride was okay. I had something to focus on. I've never thrown up. No, I knew back then already, and I know it way more now. I hate throwing up. I hate it.
Don't talk about throw up.
That's why I can never have a gun, because if I have to throw up, I'll rather shoot myself than throw up. Not kidding. So
throw down less weed for next episode. So
I don't even think it was the weed, but whatever.
Oh, now.
So how was the show?
Sorry. I don't really remember how the show was, but I found the poster, the signed poster by Vitamin X, Alcoholic Nightmare, and SSS.
I have a Vitamin X
all...
screen print for you. You can just have it. Just to
Sorry?
remember that night. I have a Vitamin X screen print. You can just have it.
Nice. But the day after, I log on to Facebook. I see a picture of me, the friend with the 20 euros, and SSS, like taken with a flip phone. And like, I'm so happy, and everyone around me is like, what the fuck?
But that's a show. There was a lot of alcohol, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, and the memory isn't so happy, but it's just that's when I decided, okay, you can drink, you can have fun, but when you feel dizzy, nah, not doing it. And that's the last time I went sick from drinking or smoking or whatever. That's the last time I've been sick, and I was 15 years old.
My last one like that was, I think, maybe last year at Graspop. Very, very short. We arrived, I smoked everything I had. I drank maybe half a bottle of rum. I went out cold, and I told to everyone I met, I haven't seen anything. I just went to one show. I just crashed. I went into the EHBO, the Red Cross tent, and jumped out. And then the next day, it was like the hangover. Everybody had pictures of me, like with West Wall, and played like biscuit. So I saw everything, but I was just like in zombie mode.
It's been a long time since I had an experience like that.
That's the last thing for me. I'm done with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened, but it happens like 2 or 3 times a year where I drink, where I get that drunk that I have to puke. But my trick is just to get naked on a tile floor, and then I sober up real quick. So I'll just go lay naked on a cold tile floor. Give me 30 minutes and 2 fingers down the throat, and I'm good to go to sleep.
That's a TM.
I've never done it at work.
That's something I'll remember, because we have a tile floor at our new home.
It's like a shock. It's a shock to the system, and if you get cold enough, you're just like, oh, okay. And everything stops turning, and then it's just like, all right, now I can go to bed.
I'll definitely try that. Like, I'll tell her tomorrow when we're finally moved, because we both have the thing, we don't want to get too dizzy.
Yeah.
We'll just do it, and I'll let you know. And I might have to edit this out. I'll tell her tomorrow I told this. So this might be bleeped. This might be not.
Might be not, indeed.
Sounds good.
To round up this episode, since we're all still inside, I know some of us have to work, some of us don't, but you are looking at something, you're watching something, you're reading something. Let's do one recommendation and just call it quits, because the only negative compliment I had was that was too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too long. So let's cut it off here. Maybe we can do it 1 hour 30, edit it down. Let's just do one thing. Let's give our 8 viewers something to look forward to. Pink, what have you been watching, listening, reading?
Watching The Last Dance on Netflix. I think it's called The Last Dance. The Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah. Is it about Jordan or is it about the Bulls?
It's about Jordan.
Well, it's very, very Jordan focused, but there's also an episode that focuses on Rodman, on Pippen, on Phil Jackson, so it gets into everything, and it's not told in sequence, so it's told every story is told, and then you can go anywhere from 87 till 98, and then go back to 95. Everything is told in a way that makes sense, and then the next episode is the same. So it's not all chronologically. It's we're sticking with a team here, and as the team progresses, we might jump from year to year just to tell the story properly. So it's very well made. It's very interesting.
I've heard about it because two Bears, one Cave were talking about it in the last.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
haven't checked the two last ones yet, but
Segura's a big Jordan fan, I guess.
yeah, he's really big into hip hop and all basketball.
Mine was 2 minutes to late night. No, 2 minutes to midnight or late night. I'm not even sure what it's called. It's a spoof-ish talk show, like Fallon or whatever, just very American, but it's with a metal influence. Mutoid Man is their band. It's this web series, I guess, that did one season of a late night show, fully supported by a Patreon. And they made, I think, about 8 episodes. And now they're doing covers with Mutoid Man, Baroness.
I saw some covers.
Yeah, they do some really great cover stuff now because I think they're waiting on someone to pick them up. But yeah, since Netflix and stuff has stopped production during Corona, I'm not sure where they are. They're in limbo, I think. But it's a very good show. They have done some live at Psycho Las Vegas and stuff like that. So it's not. Yeah, it is good actually. I was going to say it's not top of the line, but it's very. I just blew through the first season in one day.
I've only heard good things.
Yeah. I've been considering watching it, so that's the thing I'll do right after this because I've been holding it off.
That's the problem.
Sorry?
You still have a job. That's the problem.
And a move.
Yeah. This is the last time. This is the last time you're in the USSR chart studio, right?
No. I'll take this with me. This is mine. And it'll be in the podcast corner, so
smelling like tobacco.
That's where the Wi-Fi is best. No, but I'll check it out.
Rubben, do you have one?
Yeah, I do actually. Like I was thinking about saying something Watain. I was actually, the first thing that came to mind was a book I'm reading, but it's been a week since I've read a page. So I'll just say a podcast I've been listening to.
Another leftist politic podcast.
I wouldn't say it's leftist.
I'm close.
I couldn't tell you. No, the Popular Front. It's focused on, I'll just say the intro, the very niche details of modern warfare. And the first episode I listened to was about the...
Someone died. What's it called?
It's just really interesting. It's about modern warfare and like the whole background to it.
The game or the...
No.
The action.
The actual modern warfare.
Okay, that's fine. I thought this was like a video game.
No.
I take back myself shooting myself through the head.
Not at all. No, like the first episode I listened to was focused on the narcos cartels in Mexico and the whole...
Because I missed it completely.
Popular Front.
I'm gonna write that down too.
I became a Patreon after listening to 3 episodes. And I'm now. He provides a Discord server, like early release Patreon special episodes. But it's just a journalist. He worked for Vice. Sorry?
Say the name again. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Popular Front.
Yes. It's just an independent journalist, and he shows both sides, or every side, tries to show every side of conflicts. And everyone's biased, but I couldn't tell you his bias. So it's really interesting.
Nice. I have one podcast I want to shout out to. It's new. The first episode aired last week. The second one did yesterday, I think. It's just a podcast called Trash Talk, and it's a guy called Tom Griffiths, He's a chef in a restaurant called Farang in London, and it's basically trash talking the food scene. It's a fun listen. If you're into food, I mean, I obviously am. So yeah, it's a good fair bit of banter and shit talking, and really enjoyable listen.
Nice. It sounds cool.
You were going to do something about restaurant spots. You even had a name for it. It's called #FoodSpots. But since
there's not a name for it, and it's definitely not #FoodSpots.
It is
definitely not. Yeah, for you, but not officially. Fuck that.
Can we expect that one soon?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know why it would just be me talking, because you guys don't have a list yourselves.
No.
I do.
It was your thing. It was your thing.
It
was going to be your thing.
It's definitely my thing. It's definitely my thing, but I'm not gonna be the only one talking.
Okay,
I do have a small list though.
I have a small list too.
You have a big list. Okay. So yeah, I guess that can round up the episode.
All right, great. Bye, everybody.
Cut.
Cute.